A recent heartbreaking and very personal letter about a wave of melancholy that has hit her family was shared by Dr. Jennifer Arnold, who is well known for her role on TLC's reality series The Little Couple. Arnold, who is well known for her serene manner, outstanding job as a neonatologist, and resilience as a mother and wife, seldom ever discusses her personal life. However, in a moving social media message that was followed by interviews, she acknowledged that she was moved to tears and prayed for a miracle during one of the most agonizing moments her family has ever gone through. Arnold made it apparent that the suffering is severe and the future is unknown, even if she declined to disclose the specifics of the tragedy due to privacy concerns and the delicate nature of the case. "I've cried more in the past few weeks than I have in years," she admitted. "There are moments when I feel completely broken. I have no idea what the answers are. I don't have the strength I usually do. The only thing I have is trust, and it's being tested to the limit at this moment." Arnold, who stands just over 3 feet tall and has spondyloepiphyseal dysplasia congenita, a rare form of dwarfism, has dedicated a significant portion of her life to conquering great obstacles. As a physician with expertise in neonatal critical care, she has supported families during unfathomable pain and frequently served as their pillar of support. She acknowledges feeling powerless now, though, as she deals with the loss of her own family. "My career has been devoted to helping others through the darkest times. I have held the hands of parents who have lost newborns. I've explained a diagnosis that no parent should ever have to hear. In the hospital rooms where I've been, hope seems like a distant memory. But nothing can prepare you for what occurs when your own heart breaks or your own family is involved." Bill Klein, her spouse, has supported her through this trying time. Married since 2009, the duo is renowned for their strong relationship and fortitude, frequently conquering problems as a little-person pair, both social and physical. After adopting their son Will in 2014 and bringing their daughter Zoe into the world through surrogacy in 2017, they became a devoted family. They have frequently been depicted as having strong, loving lives. However, Arnold reminds us that even the most resilient families experience sadness. She acknowledged that her current predicament is far worse than her past hardships: medical school, health problems, and public scrutiny. People observe the landmarks, she mentioned the show, the smiles, and the vacations. They cannot, however, see the private moments, such as the silent prayers, the worries, and the late-night sobs. "And those intimate times are what I'm thinking about right now." She clarified that the loss has affected not just her immediate household but also several generations of her family. She did not specify if the loss was due to an accident, illness, or another cause. However, she acknowledged that multiple lives had been lost. "The future is different now. However, the holidays will never be the same. It is the conversations that will never happen. What has been destroyed are the dreams. And I feel completely unmed since I plan every medical emergency, school function, and family trip. I don't know how to become ready for this kind of pain." Although Arnold has always relied on her Christian beliefs, she is now praying with a newfound sense of urgency. "I still pray daily, sometimes even many times an hour. But they aren't the prayers of wisdom or gratitude. These are desperate screams. I beg God to do a miracle for me. There is no other way for me to go through this. Not because I think I'm worthy of one. I'm asking for peace, healing, and the strength to go on." She acknowledged that while faith gives her hope, it doesn't take away the suffering or stop the tears. "I have no idea why this occurred. I have to believe that there is a purpose, even though I may never fully understand it. I must believe that love never dies. That recollection keeps people alive. That recovery is possible, even if it takes years." Arnold also talked on how difficult it is to manage her public image while dealing with such personal loss. Although she is accustomed to sharing every element of her life with millions of people, she decided not to do so this time. "People will want to know what happened. I'm sure of it. They'll speculate. They'll search for answers. But certain things are too precious to talk about. Some pain is too great to put into words. That's all I can say. My family is suffering, and we are doing everything we can to get through this. I'm asking for privacy not because we're hiding anything, but because we need time and space to grieve in our own way." Fans, friends, and co-workers have poured in their support, with many sending condolences, prayers, and acts of kindness. Despite the isolated nature of bereavement, Arnold said she is thankful. She stated the generosity has been amazing. When I see people revealing their personal information, I'm reminded that I'm not alone. Mailing cards, burning candles, and sharing grief experiences. But grieving can sometimes be a very lonely experience. Even when there is love all around you, you still feel alone in your sorrow. She claimed that telling her kids was one of the most agonizing aspects of the ordeal. Zoe and Will, who are ages 7 and 10, are mature enough to comprehend the idea of loss, but they might find it difficult to deal with the associated feelings. Arnold, who has always made an effort to keep her kids safe, was left in the unthinkable situation of being unable to do so. Telling, "It was among the most difficult things I have ever done. I was forced to speak things I didn't want to say in front of them. I felt compelled to answer questions for which I had no answers. I also had to watch them as they dealt with something that should never be dealt with by a youngster. As a parent, you want to put things right. I can't fix this though." Dr. Jennifer Arnold described how she and her spouse, Bill, have put a lot of effort into creating a secure environment where their kids may share their sentiments. They are supporting their children's grieving process by writing letters to a deceased loved one, conversing, painting, or just spending time together in silence. "We're teaching them that it's acceptable to cry," she remarked. "It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to be perplexed. Grief is not something you get over. It's something you learn to bear." Arnold's perspective on life, love, and legacy has evolved as a result of this encounter. She had medical training that emphasized results, survival, recuperation, and data. She now understands, however, that life is more than merely outcomes. The moments are what count most. Saying, "I love you," while you can, and being present. Holding hands, laughing about ridiculous things, and taking the trip you've been putting off. She acknowledged that she devoted a significant portion of her life to making plans for the future. She is now, however, realizing the importance of living in the now. She also needed to reconsider how she related to control. She is accustomed to being in charge, managing teams, and making choices and supporting families. She has, however, had to confront the harsh reality that some things are just beyond her control in her personal life. "Who lives and who dies is beyond my power. I have no control over who becomes hurt or sick. I have no control over the past or the future. I have power over how I react, how I love, how I remember, and how I pay tribute to those who have passed away." According to experts, her candor could influence how others discuss loss. The clinical psychologist Dr. Elena Martinez, who works with those who have experienced loss, stated that society frequently encourages people to remain resilient and move on. But admitting pain is the first step toward real healing. When a well-respected and accomplished individual like Dr. Arnold declares, "I'm broken. I'm in tears. I beseech you for a miracle." Additionally, it allows others to be open about their own pain. Martinez added that Arnold's emphasis on prayer and faith is significant. Many people find that spirituality helps them cope with loss. It is not a substitute for therapy or support groups, but can also provide a feeling of purpose and belonging. Faith can give you a reason to keep going when everything else seems to be failing. Arnold has stated unequivocally that she has no intention of moving on from the loss. She desires to conduct her life in a way that honors her loved one. "I wish to avoid forgetting. Without the memories, the affection, and the lessons, I don't want to move on. I want to always have this person with me." She has also begun to consider how she might be shaped by this loss. Medical practice. "Although I've always made an effort to be sympathetic, I believe that I will now be able to relate to families on a deeper level. I used to use my thoughts to comprehend loss. I can sense it in my bones now. I might become a better doctor as a result." Arnold has found moments of joy despite her loss. Her daughter's painting and her son's embrace. She considers these minor things to be miracles. Quiet miracles, not the kind where sickness goes away or someone is brought back to life. "Upon awakening and recognizing you. Survived another day." Chuckling rather than sobbing at a memory. Having a sense of connection to someone even when they're not there. "These are also miracles," she said. She also provided consolation to people who were suffering. Please understand that it's acceptable to not feel okay. Asking for assistance is okay. It's acceptable to sob, yell, and collapse. It's also okay to pray, to hope, and to think that light can yet shine through the dark. I think love never dies, but I don't have all the answers. As those we have lost are never truly gone as long as we continue to love, remember, and honor them. Arnold still leads an honest, modest, and religious life. She gets out of bed every morning. She gives her kids a kiss. She leaves for work. She continues to pray. Although she is still grieving, she is overcoming it with courage and an open heart. Without ceasing, I will continue to pray daily for health, serenity, and a miracle. I will hope as long as I can breathe. Additionally, as long as I'll continue to love, I hope. Arnold received an unbelievable amount of love and support from her admirers after sharing her tale. Numerous people related their personal loss stories, stating that her remarks helped them feel less isolated. As a result of the deluge of messages on social media, hashtags like #StillPrayer and #MiracleFortune have evolved into representations of common sorrow and hope rather than merely attention. Her courage and unwavering commitment to her work were also commended by her medical colleagues. Another neonatologist, Dr. Michael Thompson, who's worked with her for more than 10 years and referred to her as one of the strongest individuals he has ever encountered. She is a leader, a mentor, and an inspiration. Her humanity, however, is what most strikes me. She doesn't act as like she knows everything. She shows up even when she is grieving. That is true strength. The Little Couple's producers expressed their support for Arnold and her family in a statement. They acknowledged that in order to give them time and space to recover, filming has been halted. Bill and Jen have participated in our TLC family for almost a decade. We keep them in our prayers and thoughts and are very sorry by their loss. Arnold is gradually attempting to resume her routines despite the burden of her loss. Returning to work has been quite difficult, she acknowledged. I feel like I can't handle it sometimes when I enter the NICU. I am reminded of how fleeting life is when I witness a small infant suffering. Then I recalled my motivation for becoming a doctor. I continue to think about the families that depend on me. Arnold has begun journaling to help her deal with her feelings. I find that writing helps me organize my ideas. It's similar to speaking to myself or God. I don't always know how I'm feeling until I put it in writing. Her husband, Bill, has been a pillar of support through it all. My rock has been Bill. He makes no attempt to rectify it. He merely listens while holding me. He weeps with me. That's just what I require. Additionally, they have relied on their religious community, going to services, as well as participating in prayer groups. According to Arnold, this relationship has been essential to finding calm in a period when everything seems to be falling apart. Being in a room full of hurting people who still think we have each other, even when we don't have all the answers, has a certain power. We have hope too. As the weeks turn into months, Arnold knows that the grieving process is far from over. People think that grief has a timeline. After a few months, she said, they expect that you will improve. But grieving doesn't work like that. It happens in waves. On some days, everything is fine. It's normal for the pain to feel fresh again on some days. That's part of the healing process. She hopes that by sharing her story, others may feel less isolated in their struggles. So many people suffer in silence, she said. They think that they need to appear strong to hide their pain. On the other hand, expressing your emotions honestly is a sign of genuine strength. It is asking for help. I'm still here, but I'm not okay. According to this, Arnold's message is one of tenacity rather than despair. It is proof of the resilience of the human spirit, the power of love, and the enduring nature of faith. I don't know what the future holds, she said. I don't know if the agony will ever go away entirely. But I'm positive that I'll keep going. I will always love. I'll keep praying. Furthermore, without hope, we have nothing. I'm going to keep believing in miracles. In a world that often values performance, production, and positivity, Dr. Jen Arnold's candid, unfiltered statement of loss is a powerful reminder that it's okay to feel shattered. The first step to such recovery is honesty. And even in the darkest moments, love and prayer can light the way. As a result, she continues to pray because she knows that surrender is the alternative, not because she knows the outcome. Additionally, for give up is not an option. Jen Arnold. I shall be forever, she says. And I keep praying.